everyone.
Yes, Happy New Year. It's 2019 already, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, time flies.
Yes. So this being New Year's, of course, a lot of us make resolutions.
That's true.
Yeah, but then it's not too often that we quickly forget about them and they're broken.
That is so true, David. So our assumption is with this episode that you'll make the resolution to keep the increase and not only to maintain but increase the flexibility, balance, and physical safety within your body by learning very simple exercises that you can do at home. We're also going to teach you a way of walking on ice that will limit the potential of actually falling, which is important for all of us to learn.
Yeah, that really sounds great. We're going to teach. Wait, I don't know how to teach that.
Really? But we don't have to teach it, David. We're only beginning Tai Chi students. But we have with us Suzanne Hanley, who is very experienced and skilled in Tai Chi.
Yes.
So welcome, Suzanne. We're delighted to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you.
You know, I'd like to begin by asking you, how long have you been teaching?
I have been teaching for 24 years.
24
that's a long
years,
time.
yeah.
Yes.
And roughly, how many classes do you teach each week?
Right now, I do 10 classes a week.
10 classes?
That
wow.
is a
Keeps me
lot.
That's a
busy.
large
It keeps you
number.
very, very busy.
So I got another thought. Also, did you have the intention, the vision that you were going to be a teacher?
Absolutely not.
And that you were going to be teaching Tai Chi?
I had no idea.
That is,
Wow.
that is so interesting because I have a brother who, at 4 years old, he decided he's going to be a doctor, and he became one.
Okay.
And I found my journey in life way later. So I think it's really beautiful as long as at some point we find a passion and a joy of what we do.
Yes.
So I think you certainly have found yours.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and how did you transition into it? What were you doing before that?
Well, I started out as a computer programmer when I
Oh.
got finished with college. And eventually I moved to Connecticut from Illinois.
Oh.
And in Connecticut, I initially just got a job at a garden center to keep me busy until I found out what I was going to do.
Wow.
And eventually I got married, and so I was raising children. And I gave up the computer programming. But in the course of my marriage, not having anything to do with the marriage, I developed asthma.
Oh.
And I was having a lot of difficulty maintaining a good lifestyle. I was being hospitalized a lot and going to the ER a lot for breathing. And the doctors were very helpful, but it wasn't enough for me. So I started doing my own research, and Tai Chi kept coming up as
Really?
a way to help with breathing.
Okay.
And that was why I started taking Tai Chi lessons.
Wow. So you were researching holistic practices for
Anything.
well-being?
Yes, anything. that
And
would
Tai
help
Chi
me.
kept coming up for
Yes.
asthma.
Yes.
Did it come up for other illnesses that might intrigue people that are watching our program?
She was,
These days, yes, it would, because there's so much available to you online.
Yeah.
It's very good for COPD, of course, because that's another form of breath, a breath issue. It's wonderful for arthritis.
Wow.
I have many, many students who have arthritis, and it's helped them with that. I have students who have fibromyalgia,
Yeah.
and it's helped them with that.
Wow.
Many students with balance issues, and it's very good for balance.
Wow. That
There-
is so
There was
really
a study
wonderful.
done that showed that seniors who took 12 weeks of Tai Chi and then continued, it was a study, so they did a follow-up, And those who did that had a 43% less chance of falling than the general population.
Wow.
So it makes a big difference with your balance.
That is so excellent. What about with your asthma?
I no longer am hospitalized.
That's
I haven't
great.
been to the ER in years.
Wow.
I still work with my doctors on it. I still carry a rescue inhaler, but it's pretty much non-existent.
Wow, isn't that?
It's
that's
helped
so
me enormously.
Wonderful. That is so
Yeah.
wonderful. I know when you were transitioning, you shared with us that I think Ralph Johnson, who owned Foodworks here
Yes.
in Guilford, and I think there's a
Old Saybrook.
Old Saybrook, right? Had a tremendous impact in this transition. Can you explain to us what?
Sure. He in his store one day he had a flyer up about come to a free Tai Chi class, and so I was intrigued. I went, and I studied with him as long as he was teaching. He was a wonderful teacher. He introduced me to this Eastern art and the beauty of it and the value of it. So I'm deeply thankful to him for all that he shared with me.
It's so great.
And he started me on my journey.
Wow. And what did that journey look like?
Back then it was just to make me feel good, to help with my breath work. But then one day Ralph said, I'm traveling and you're teaching the class.
Oh, volunteer.
I had no intention of teaching Tai Chi.
Wow.
But another student and I taught his classes while he was away. We would share it. We were scared to death. But it was fun. And eventually he quit teaching. And
you
he
kept
moved. And I kept getting calls from his former students at places that senior centers they were at or retirement communities. Could you come and talk to us about teaching a Tai Chi class? And that's how it all began.
Wow, it's so interesting.
Right.
Yeah, we take your class, both David and I, and love
she
it.
Teaches us at the Canoebrook Senior Center, and you teach in all along the shoreline in
Yes.
some of the different towns.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And I know one of the benefits for me, sometimes I catch your eyes when I'm doing the warm-ups and you smile because Tuesdays are typically, we take your class on Tuesday afternoon, and Tuesdays typically are very busy for both David and I. We start very early in the morning. By the time the class is at 2:30, it's very close to sundowners time, and I'm very tired. And I start with the warm-ups, and as soon as I start, you know what I do, I yawn. And I yawn, and I yawn, and I yawn.
And you're right up in the front row yawning.
Right. And I find that it so relaxes me that the yawns actually, I don't know, it sort of feels like it's releasing the stress and exhaustion. It's just getting rid of it because eventually I stop yawning and I'm at a really lovely balance of calm and just sort of like an equilibrium. It feels wonderful.
I see yawning in my classes quite often.
I know. You smile, but you don't smile. You smile with support and understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. Not why doesn't this lady get some sleep? You know?
I
Right.
actually have a sitting Tai Chi class where some of them fall asleep on me.
Oh, wow.
But that's okay. They're relaxed.
I'll tell you what I get out of it, because even with just the brief things that we do in the warm-up, each of those things, as well as the steps that we take in the short form, this type of short form, where we do the 18 steps, for me, I'm completely in meditation at times. It's like a moving meditation for me.
It
Yes.
feels really wonderful.
It's often called meditation in motion.
Oh, okay.
So that's right. That's what David said. It feels like. So
I'm
that's
doing what I'm
it-
supposed to do.
Right.
But I think that there are so many benefits that you mentioned, and we would greatly appreciate if we could take this time together for you to connect the exercise with the benefit that you find that either you or your students are telling you they're achieving. And if you can demonstrate them for our viewers.
I just want to share with you some of the gems of Tai Chi that I have learned from all of my teachers. And I want to start with the breath work, because that's what we do in every class. And what that does is allow you to take a moment to breathe, forget everything you came in the door with, or if you're busy at home, it gives you a chance to just relax for a moment. And I'm going to show you one called Sunrise and Sunset, which is actually the first and last movement in our Tai Chi form. It's very simple. It's done with the shoulders down, the elbows down, and we use the wrists, and it's done with the breath. So you just breathe in as you pull the hands up, and then you exhale as they come down. Breathing in, keeping those shoulders down, those elbows down, and exhale. And if you do this for 5 minutes, you have a moving meditation. Some of my students have told me when they have a house full of people, grandchildren running around, there's a party going on, they need to just breathe for a minute. They go into the bathroom and they stand there and they do this to relax, just for a few minutes. It's very beneficial. Another one of my students greets her grandchildren when they get off the bus, and while she's waiting on the corner for them to get off the bus, she does this to help relax her and to just breathe. So in our classes, we go from the breath work usually to the warm-ups, and the warm-ups are designed to open up all the joints in your body. I was very fortunate to have quite a few teachers who taught me exercises to help with joint pain, to help with arthritis, osteoporosis. So I'm going to share some of those with you today. Actually, the one that I get the most response from my students is the hand movements that we do. The hand movements have helped so many of my students with trigger fingers, or they can't make a fist. For myself, I used to have arthritis in here that bothered me. This finger was a trigger finger. I would have to push it up. Those are all gone now, in my instance, and in a lot of my students as well. So I'm going to go through the finger exercises with you. We're going to start just by opening and closing. And if you can't make a fist, you just do the best you can. And turning the palms to face each other, you lift and relax, getting that wrist movement in. Shake them out. We do a lot of shaking out. It's to get rid of any leftover tension in the muscles or the body from what we've done, so hopefully you're not sore later on. We do some pressing and releasing. And individually by fingers, pointing fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, little fingers, and a little stretch on the thumb, and the other one. And then individually, we bring the thumb to the palm, and the index finger, and the middle finger, and the ring finger, and the little finger. We do it twice: thumb, index, middle, ring, and little, and shake them out. And I love this one. Curl the fingers in. The thumb starts the opening out. The little finger starts the curling in for your wrists and all your finger joints. And shake them out. So from my students, I have heard, I have one student who, his fingers were pretty much locked in a position like this. And from doing the finger movements, they're getting almost back to where they used to be. of students who couldn't make fists, and now they can make fists again. One of my students, he was in a 12-week study class that I did, and he always had this right here, as I used to, arthritic joint. It really hurt. And he said, after the 12 weeks of coming to this particular study, it was gone. And so he looked at me and he said, "It's a miracle." So I love to hear the stories from my students. I have one yesterday who is telling me, and I have two of them like that. They both started taking class using a cane. They had fibromyalgia. One was fibromyalgia, the other one was severe arthritis. And they've been coming and they're very dedicated. So they come to the class, one comes to 2 classes a week, the other comes once a week. They practice at home every single moment, every single morning, and neither one of them uses a cane anymore.
So wonderful.
One of them said she's starting to walk again, and every day she walks further and further outside just to get out. So I'd love to hear the benefits of what this Tai Chi is doing for my students. One other movement I would like to show you has to do with, it's a breath work as well. It's with the hands are just out like this, and as you breathe in, you bring the hands up, and as you exhale, they come down. So in fact, it's a gathering in.
It's so relaxing.
And it's an emptying. It's breathing in and exhale. I had a student tell me she would do that every time she went to the doctor's office because she would get so nervous waiting for the doctor to come in or the nurse. She would do this. And the nurse came in and said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing my Tai Chi breath work." And the nurse told her, "You have to show me what you're doing so I can show it to the doctor."
It's so great.
The doctor needed it.
The doctor needed it, yes. So I want to show you, I also hear all the time about how balance is a big thing with my students. I only teach seniors. And a lot of them tell me that's why they're coming to class, because they need the balance work. So I'm going to stand up and show you a couple of things you can do on your own, working with your balance. And if you have any issues, I would do this with a chair in front of you, so that just in case you lost your balance, you would have something to hold on to. But basically, it's done it's because of the way we move in Tai Chi. We're always putting all our weight into one leg before you take the weight out of the other. And that's called filling up the leg, and this is called emptying. And that's the yin and the yang in Tai Chi. A full leg is a yang leg, an empty one is a yin. They're the two principles of Tai Chi. So a very simple practice you can do to start to get you thinking in that direction is to fill up a leg, bend the other knee. Now all my weight is here, so I can take a slight step to the side. And now I'm going to fill up that leg. I'm standing upright. I'm going to bend this knee and bring that back. It's a very simple exercise. It's good for your balance. Step, fill up the leg, empty this one, bring it back. And again, step, fill it up, empty, bring it back. Once more, step, fill it up, empty, bring it back. If I had balance issues, I would do this every day, at least 10 times a day. Again, holding on if you need to. We also, when we stand in Tai Chi, we stand with our knees soft. It's called soft knees, which means just unlock your knees. And what that does is it helps to ground you. It helps with your balance. It doesn't mean stooping down. It just means unlock them. That's really hard for some people, and I know some of my students have trouble with it. But what I urge them to do is just to practice it a little bit every day, to get used to that unlocking of your knees.
And I think, isn't it true, Suzanne, that if we unlock the knees, there's less stress to them, so less injury to them if we keep them soft? And is that not true?
I would think so. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But what it does also is strengthen the muscles in your legs because they're holding the weight. So we talked a little bit, Marge talked a little bit about showing you how to walk on ice. Actually, what this is called Tai Chi Walk. And it's the same principle of moving the way I just did. It's also called Tiger Walk. In Tai Chi, the tiger is always you. So this is the tiger moving forward, and then I'm going to move back also as we do it. It's that same thing. We're going to fill up a leg, empty this one. Now my weight is out of this leg, so I can move it forward just a little. And now I'm going to fill this leg up and empty this one. Once it's empty, there's no weight in it, I can move it forward and move my weight forward. You need to do this being upright, and we move from our hips in Tai Chi. One more step, place it, walk forward, empty the back one, and bring it forward. You can do this in any direction. If I need to step back, I fill up one leg, put all my weight into it, empty the leg I'm going to move, step back. And as I go back, in Tai Chi we pick up the front toe and empty it. Step back, fill it up, front toe comes up, bring it back. If you're unsure about your balance when you do this, you could have a table or the back of your couch and walk along with it there just in case you need something to hold on to. So it's fill, empty, place, fill, empty, place. And walking back, fill up the back leg, front toe comes up, bring it back. Moving back, front toe comes up to empty, bring it back. Do it with the breath. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. And if you do this with your breath, you have another moving meditation. I was in a group of women once, a meditation group, and we would do this in a circle. That was before I knew anything about Tai Chi. And it was a walking meditation, but it's the same thing. And it's the way we always move in Tai Chi. Make sure you're grounded before you move the other foot.
And is it important also that when we do that walk, that it's slow? Correct?
It's very slow. I had no idea it would work on walking on ice until one of my students told me that she had come out of the house, her car was in the driveway, there was a sheet of ice there, and she had to go somewhere. So she said, I'm going to try my Tai Chi walk.
Wow.
So she's the one who introduced it to me as a way of walking on ice. I just had always thought of it as Tai Chi
Meditation.
Walk or meditation.
But last year in Tai Chi class, somebody said they did, I don't remember exactly who, but somebody said they did this walk and they were just so thrilled. They got across the parking lot on ice.
Oh, that was me.
Falling. Was that you? Okay.
I was at the Mercy Center one night and giving a program, and it rained as I was going in, and when I came out, the parking lot was solid ice, and my car was on the other side of the parking lot, and I'm saying to myself, okay, practice what you preach. You have to take your time, place that foot, and walk. Important not to move from your chest, but to move from your hips.
So you're not put
Stay
off
upright.
balance.
So you're staying upright, and it's very important to take your time when you do this. And back.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of benefits that you can get from all of this.
Yeah, and we really trust that when people start practicing the simple movements in the hands. There's one other thing that I'd love to add that we do that people can do at home is to just wake up our energy points.
Oh.
And it's so it's just rejuvenating.
Patting the meridians.
Yeah, patting the meridians. Can we just go through
Sure.
those? Thank you.
Sure. I saw two students actually, a little while ago they haven't been to my class in a long time. And they said, but I still do patting my meridians
That's
every single
wonderful.
morning because it's a way to wake up your body. So we're going to start, we'll do it sitting, the hands behind. I'm patting the body in the direction that the major energy pathways flow, the major meridians. So we start from behind and we pat energetically down the back of the legs and back up the front. And you just go down what's comfortable for you. Down the back and back up the front. And then we go down the outside of the legs. Back up the inside. Once again, down the outside of the legs. Back up the inside. And we go up. We pat the lower belly, which is called the dantian, or the sea of breath. Center of your chi, and then up to the top of your chest. This is also thumping your thymus gland, and it helps to break up any congestion in here as well.
And isn't it also very good for building immunity when you?
The thymus gland is connected with helping you to strengthen your immune system. Yes. And we have one palm up. We're going to go down the inside of your arm, back up the top. Palm is up as you go down, down as you go up. And we go across the chest and down the inside of your other arm and back up the top. Palm is up as you go down, down as you go up. And we just tap the back of the neck and behind your ears to break up any congestion there. And then you do the whole scalp. Wake it up. The top of your head is a point called the 100 meeting point, and it's said if you rub it every day, you'll live to be 100.
Come on,
So
everyone.
I
Let's go
say
for
that.
it.
That's up to you.
If you don't rub it enough, it'll be 99.
And then it's gentle on the temples. And we're going to wake up our faces. We're going to start with the chin. Bring some color to your cheeks. And your eyebrows. I use my thumbnails to pull down either side of the nose, helping to drain the sinuses. And we massage the ears from the bottom all the way up. I'm told there's over 240 acupressure points in your ears alone.
Oh my gosh.
So we're
that's
just
incredible.
we're just trying to stimulate as many of them as we can.
Wow.
And if you can, inside all the nooks and crannies of your ears. So we woke our faces up, we'll calm them down, gentle fingertips, center of your forehead, going out and up. And the cheekbones, out and up. And chin, out and up. And this ends with 10 tigers over the mountain, down behind your neck, down the sides, and back to where you began. And you are
then-
warmed up.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And we can do that at home. Don't need a partner. But I'll tell you, if you decide to come to Tai Chi class with Suzanne, one of the great benefits is after we do all of this workup, we divide into partners and we do massages to each other, and it's like fantastic.
We won't do that,
no. So, Suzanne, we thank you with full heart for taking the
you're
time
welcome.
to share with our viewing
Yes,
audience.
delighted
thank you
to
so
be here.
much, and Happy New Year
Yeah,
to you and
blessings
to
of the new
everybody.
year. Blessings to everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.